So I'm going to show you one of my favourite super simple recipes that is for a delicious quiche that has no pastry. Yeah, it's a crustless quiche made with broccoli and feta and lots of eggs. Really good if you're trying to cut back on the carbs maybe. It works really well hot or cold. You can slice up, put it into sandwich boxes, picnic boxes, school lunch boxes, that kind of thing. So what you need is quite a lot of eggs to start with. So I've got 8 eggs here, organic eggs. I've actually got 7 here in my bowl, so I'm going to crack one more into here and then beat that all together. Whoops, fishing out the eggshell. So beat that up because that's going to be the basis basically of this lovely quiche. And I'm going to combine that with feta, so it's really nice and satisfying and quite creamy tasting. Now the broccoli part, you need about 350 grams of broccoli, so that's roughly one of those big heads of broccoli. And what I've done here is I've actually just lightly cooked it. I've just very, very lightly boiled it for about 3 or 4 minutes, cut it into these really nice little florets. And then once you've done that, you can use a spring-loaded tin, and that's a really good way of presenting the quiche, because if you've got a removable bottom, then it's just easy to get out at the end. So what you do to start with is you'll put your broccoli in the bottom and just spread that out so every slice of quiche has a really nice piece of broccoli in it. So you can see that I'm just turning those little sliced florets over. That will fill the dish. You don't have to use a flan tin, you could use a cake tin, spring-loaded cake tin for example. There we go. So that's already there. Then the other thing that's really nice to add in actually is a little bit of spring onion. So I've got 2 spring onions here that I've just chopped. They can be a little bit bitter, so if you want to, just at the end of the cooking time for the broccoli, you can throw them in just to kind of blanch them. Or I'll just pop these in here. I've just got a separate little pan of water, and I'm just going to literally put them in there just for a couple of minutes, just to take the edge off so they become quite nice and sweet. Literally just blanch those. And then I will give these just a bit of a strain. Or as I say, you can do them in with the broccoli just to make it a bit easier. And then sprinkle those over the broccoli that's in the quiche. Okay, so back to the egg mixture. Now, I've got the eggs that I've beaten. And then I'm going to add to that the feta. So you need about 100 grams, which is about half. Yeah, these packs are usually 200 grams. So take half a block of feta and then just crumble it, just to break it up. A little bit messy, but it's fine. So just break it up like that into your egg mixture. Just wipe my fingers, and that will all mix in really well together. So I'm going to pop a little bit of salt and pepper in there as well. Not too much salt because the feta is actually quite salty already. A little bit of ground black pepper. So mix that up, and just, you can break up the feta a little bit more if you need to. And then what I'm also going to do with the egg mixture is I'm going to add a really generous handful of chopped parsley. Chopped parsley, full of vitamin C, full of prebiotic fibre. It's really good. It's also a very good low histamine herb, as I was hearing from Lily, who's on her low histamine diet. She has handfuls of fresh parsley. So I'm going to mix that in with my eggs like that. So that's the eggs and the feta and the parsley all mixed together, just breaking the feta up a little bit. And then that is all going over my flan. So You might actually want to stand it on a baking tray just in case some of the flan cases can leak at the bottom. But look at that. I mean, that just looks really, really good. And then last but not least, I've got 4 cherry tomatoes and I'm just slicing those in half. And I will just scatter those on the top. Just got a bit of goodness there, the lycopene, but also it just looks so pretty, doesn't it? The white of the feta, the dark green of the broccoli, and the red of the tomatoes. And then you want to bake that for about 25-30 minutes or so, depending on your oven, quite nice and hot, around 200 degrees. Just keep a little check on it. I'll pop a baking tray under that. And then when it's cooked, take it out of the oven. And here is one that I made earlier to show you. Look at that. Absolutely delicious. Keep it in the fridge, ready to slice, warm it up. You can eat it hot or cold, whichever way you eat it, it is delicious. And you'll find the full recipe on Earle Wellbeing in the link below. Enjoy.